Oh boy, I have a rant. I got a massive rant. I have a freaking potassium rant. This mineral, you guys are getting it wrong. Not all of you, but a lot of you. And then I just got a rant. So let's get to it. Welcome everyone to my very humble life, because people didn't like when I said channel, and I was like, you know what, it's really about my life. But let's get right on to the subject of potassium. Now, I had a consultation the other day with a woman who she consumed 4,700 milligrams of potassium, because people like Dr. Berg, who's like a nice guy, whatever, said that you've got to consume 4,700 milligrams of potassium. And then the rule of thumb, right, by the medical community is to consume 47 milligrams of potassium, which is almost impossible in nature without overeating one food group. For example, avocados can have from 400 to 1,000 milligrams of potassium. So if you had a huge, massive avocado, the Mexican avocados, and you had 5 of them, you might hit 4,700 milligrams of potassium. Who's going to eat 5 avocados? Make it make sense. And they're being imported, and they're genetically selectively bred to be bigger. So we're not getting what we'd actually get in nature. For example, spinach, you might get 600 to 800 milligrams of potassium in a cup, but then you'd have to eat several cups of it. And we're eating modified spinach, which is high in oxalates, which bind to calcium and start to create like kidney stones and liver and gallbladder stones. It's okay to eat spinach. Don't be afraid of spinach, just here and there, seasonally. And wild grown or cultivated wild spinach, much better than the cultivated, rather. I know. The woman that I had a consultation with, she was taking in the 4,700 milligrams of potassium, shot her blood pressure up in a dangerous level, very, very high blood pressure. Because normally when you're doing keto for over a year, or carnivore or snake or lion diet, your blood pressure drops, but hers skyrocketed because the potassium she was taking was absurd, and it was potassium chloride. And chloride is so dangerous. It really stresses out your liver and your kidneys and can create issues with those very sensitive tubules. So the best way to get your potassium is through food, so you don't run into this issue, because you might have to chew down meat to get to the potassium, like in pork or chicken, or they all have potassium but different levels, or fish, or shellfish, or even plants. You have to break down the fiber. But to take it, concentrate it, like people are taking iodine drops, and like, what's wrong with that? Everybody says drop it in your coffee. And I'm watching people go from hypothyroidism to hyper, especially people with Hashimoto's. Be very careful, because if gurus are telling you it's that easy, run the opposite direction. Nothing in life is easy. Now people are trying to consume 3,700. I'm like, no, my people, it's still too much. In supplementation, the max amount of potassium citrate or bicarbonate or gluconate or glycinate I have people consume, which is supplemental, if they have histamine responses to avocado, for example, is 400. And if you're doing a chloride, which you should not do, it's only 200, 100 in the morning and then 100 in the evening. And most of these products, like Element, use cheap minerals, although we have found out that Element uses mostly salt. So now you're just adding too much salt to your diet, offsetting the potassium. So potassium's really the problem. Our farms, our soil has been over farmed. Our meats, our plants don't have as much potassium as we used to in nature. When you do a keto, carnivore, snake, lion diet, or even low carb, high fat, it's not what you'd find in nature, because nature, it would be feast or famine on particular foods according to your region as a hunter-gatherer, which is most of us are from Africa, or all of us. But then we branched off, right, with the diaspora. But I digress. When you electively choose not to eat carbs and starches and sugars and sweet fruit or honey, then you're going to start dumping water and minerals. The solution isn't to take all this freaking potassium supplementation, because I just read somebody comment on my channel, I took 3,700 and I was sick for a year. So many people are taking K vitamins, K2, vitamin D, iodine, iron, because they bleed a lot in their menstrual cycle, or they have low iron, hemoglobin, ferritin levels are low. I'm like, eat liver. Ew, I don't like liver. And I just really have a hard time with people like that, because they have illness, they're sick. And this is not the time to be picky about what you need to consume from nature to be in balance again, because it was the stepping outside of nature that got you out of whack in the first place. This is not a video of like how much potassium and salt and what kind. It's more of the rant of somebody tells you to take 4,700 milligrams of something from a supplement. Y'all need to take pause. I don't care what the supplement is. You don't just take it. You don't know what's going to happen to your body. Your body is nature. And they're adding something synthetically produced in a lab. Thyroid medication does the same thing. And I've got thyroid people literally like, I can't get off. I get so sick. I feel terrible. And I'm like, it's because your body got used to the exogenous hormones of T3. And then when you try to go off, the body just freaks out, even though it doesn't actually heal you whatsoever. We have been taught, and I must do a full rant on this subject, that women post-menopause are supposed to be taking HRTs. And you guys believe this garbage. It just irritates me. Like, can y'all wake up? We are supposed to survive as human beings, mammals, without a bunch of pills and ashwagandha and this and that, and for depression and cortisol and iodine, because the thyroid's not getting enough iodine, but you're not eating the right foods, or you're fasting, or you don't get enough sleep, or you have leaky gut, you're malabsorptive, or you've gotten a gastric bypass or sleeve, and now you don't absorb these minerals very well. Or you don't balance the minerals with selenium, which is in food like seafood, like shellfish, or selenium's in liver. Instead, you guys are taking zinc to heal the gut. Zinc without copper, that's not safe. Iodine without selenium, that's not safe. Ooh, it's windy. It's coming a storm. Yeah, after a bunch of plane farts going by, creating mud in our skies, you can predict the weather almost like to the second. But I digress. That's only for the knowing. Okay. Y'all, just stop taking these high amounts of supplements, or like ancestral supplements telling you to take like 6 of their capsules a day of flesh rotting, freeze-dried. Although there are some benefits to it, but for those with histamine, oh no. bought from New Zealand, shipped over, or I assume they're still purchasing from New Zealand, shipped over, a month shipped over, dry hung for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then you open up that capsule and it smells like a rotten, carcass. It's an animal carcass. And you're wondering why you're reacting to your ancestral supplements, while you take 6 of these stupid things a day because somebody made up some arbitrary number to keep you on a month-to-month subscription of a very expensive product. These are my rants. Like, you guys bought the eat too much protein, right? You bought the priming and then the fasting. Stop buying this nonsense. We've had enough of people trying to steal our ducats by manipulating our vulnerabilities. And I ask a lot of people who fail with their health on these horrific not solutions, advice, like eat fruit with meat, because a doctor said that's what he does, and then they get sick. If I didn't believe in what I was saying, I would have stayed in Los Angeles and continued to do the TV circuit, because I was on my way. Yeah. I would put myself in a bikini and promote being fit naturally in my almost 60s and make a grip of money telling you to eat some arbitrary diet. But I don't. I moved to the country and I've been struggling and I've been working my ass off and telling the truth, which gets people triggered. You're wrong. And why are you watching my channel? I don't get it. See, I told you this was a rant. Why are you watching my channel if I'm so wrong? I just find it fascinating. Life is so weird, right? But there are a large amount of people who are tired of the noise, the talking heads, including myself. And they're truth-seeking on their own, which is amazing. Because the more consultations that I do, the more I see people like, oh, they know this and this and this and this. I'm like, yes. Because I actually have some people to talk to who are like-minded. It's a glorious feeling to be in that group where you see everything very clearly. You're like, ain't nothing tricking me. For me to believe something, it's got to be hoops and things got to be jumped through. People get mad because I won't believe it. Oh, it is this way. It's this way because you say it's this way. No, it is this way. I'm like, I don't care. And then they get super, defensive, triggered. It is, in my opinion, that 4,700 milligrams of a potassium supplement is going to ruin your health. Now it's up to you to go do that research yourself. Yeah. Let's just say you're not going to find that shite in nature. You need to balance it with sodium, because too much potassium lowers sodium and you start to have chronic dehydration, chronic swelling, nausea, vertigo from too low sodium. Just peeing out sodium, dominate in potassium. They have to teeter-totter off of each other. They have to balance. If they don't balance, like zinc, copper, selenium, iodine, and sodium, potassium. That's my rant. Stop listening to ding-dongs having you take insane amounts of a supplement without y'all making sure that your body can tolerate that nonsense. Right? Like the fasting. I got all the I'm going to do a fasting video. Again, all the fasting and what it does to your body. If you're having an allergic reaction, severe histamine reaction, a 24-hour fast is probably warranted. If you are Muslim or you're trying to fast for religious reasons, but the rest of y'all, wake up. They got you drinking the Jim and the Jones and the blue Kool-Aid. In my opinion. Because that's all we are, is talking heads on these internet things. But for those who question everything, y'all are the ones that I vibe with. Like, that doesn't make any sense that La told me to eat bologna, bacon, sausage, and that the quality of your meat don't matter as long as you're doing carnivore. Sounds a little Jim and a little bit of, the Guyana island of Mr. Jones. It does matter the quality of your meat exponentially, especially if your body's not used to a carnivore diet. I don't care. You could be doing a standard American diet, flip to carnivore, and have chronic dehydration and start to eat mono meats and develop high uric acid and high B12 and get sick on something that's supposed to be healthy for you because you cut out the bread. If life could only be that simple. Below, have you overdone the O to the D, your potassium? Or are you still doing spoons of salt? Are you drinking a gallon of water a day? Just saying. Yeah. Do you have muscle cramps, facial twitching, constipation, nausea, waking up in the middle of the night? Do you have a hard time sleeping? Do you sleep in 5 seconds? Stuff to think about. That's my rant. I got a ton more rants to go. But I think a lot of people are starting to, at least the people who watch my videos, are starting to get the message that I'm putting out there, because I've done it for so many dang years, like year after year, and I just don't change. And the older I get, the more you ain't gonna change me. So for people like, you need to change, I'm not changing. The only living creature that's gonna ever make me change is my horse, who got me out of Hollywood, California to the country. That's what I'll change for, or he is what I will change for. Other than that, I don't care. Comment below, share this content. Are you struggling with your body? Are you confused? Do you feel like all the gurus are saying different things? Comment below. What are your thoughts? Don't forget to share this content or subscribe, because that's how people find my chocolate ass. Yeah, been on the internet a long time. Ain't going nowhere. Well, maybe I will, but right now, no. Got to get my house finished. Somebody said, please do videos of you building your house, but I kind of want it to be a surprise. So I'm going to start throwing out some teasers so you guys can kind of see a little look into my humble life. When I say my humble life, not humble, but humble life, then you're going to be like, oh, now I get it. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. My website is stephanieperson.com. So if you need a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com and sign up if you feel like you need help. And I run a course where I cover all 3 diets, really breaking down these dang electrolytes, which confuse people. And remember, everyone is different. So the macros are not all the same. And I'm out. Energy at 56 going on. No, I don't know my age. 57 going on 58. And then almost 60. What? And you know what? We got to keep the abs going. Because like I'm just wearing long sleeves in this winter business. We got to keep the abs going. We do. Naturally. Now get off the HRTs. Peace. And the